Was Marshal Marmont a treacherous villain who stabbed Napoleon in the back? Or was he a pragmatist who saved Paris from a bloodbath? The story of Auguste de Marmont is one of ambition, loyalty, and a betrayal that echoed through history. Our story begins not on a grand battlefield, but at the brutal siege of Toulon in 1793. It was here, amidst the chaos of the French Revolution, that a young artillery officer named Auguste de Marmont first crossed paths with an equally ambitious Corsican, Napoleon Bonaparte. Marmont quickly distinguished himself, catching Napoleon's eye. A powerful bond was forged, and Marmont became one of Napoleon's trusted aides-de-camp, a member of his inner circle. He was there for the Italian campaigns. He was there in Egypt. He saw Napoleon's star rise and hitched his wagon to it. As Napoleon's power grew, so did the ranks of his legendary marshals, the baton winners who formed the backbone of his Grande Armée. Men like Lannes, Davout, and Ney were promoted, earning their place among the elite. But for Marmont, the weight was agonizing. Year after year, campaign after campaign, the marshal's baton remained just out of reach. Why? Was Napoleon testing him? Did he see a flaw others missed? Marmont's loyalty seemed unquestionable, yet the ultimate honor was withheld. Finally, in 1809, after the hard-fought victory at the Battle of Wagram, Napoleon relented. He made Marmont a marshal of the empire. But this long-awaited triumph came with a sting. Napoleon, in a private moment, allegedly told him, "Between ourselves, you have not yet done enough to fully justify my choice." Imagine hearing that. After years of service, after risking your life countless times, the man you've dedicated your career to essentially says, "You're not quite good enough." Those words must have cut deeper than any saber. They planted a seed of resentment that would lie dormant for years. Fast forward 5 years to the spring of 1814. The Napoleonic Empire is crumbling. After a disastrous campaign in Russia and a grueling war in Germany, the allied armies of Russia, Prussia, and Austria are closing in on Paris itself. Napoleon, ever the brilliant strategist, is maneuvering to the east, hoping to cut off their supply lines and force them to turn back. He entrusts the defense of his capital to a handful of marshals, including Marmont. But the situation is hopeless. Marmont's forces are outnumbered, exhausted, and demoralized. The citizens of Paris are terrified of a protracted siege and the destruction it would bring. As the allies surround the city, Marmont is faced with an impossible choice. Fight a pointless, bloody battle for a lost cause, leading to the sacking of Paris, or negotiate. He chose to negotiate. On March 31, 1814, Marmont surrendered Paris to the Allies. For Napoleon, this was the final fatal blow. His plan to save his empire depended on Paris holding out. Marmont's surrender made his position untenable. Just days later, Napoleon was forced to abdicate. To the Bonaparte loyalists, Marmont's name became a curse. The French verb raguser, derived from Marmont's title. The Duke of Ragusa was even coined to mean to betray. They saw him as a coward who sold out his emperor to save his own skin. But was it that simple? Marmont and his defenders argued that he saved Paris from utter ruin. A street-by-street battle would have been a massacre, turning the beautiful city into a smoldering graveyard. By surrendering, he prevented immense suffering and preserved the capital. When the Bourbon monarchy was restored, they rewarded Marmont for his actions, confirming his titles and status. He had gambled, and in the short term, he'd won. However, the stain of betrayal never truly washed away. He would forever be known as the man who surrendered Paris. When Napoleon returned from Elba for his 100 days, Marmont was forced to flee, forever an outcast from the Bonapartist legend. His story forces us to ask difficult questions. What is the greater loyalty, to a single man or to the people you are sworn to protect? Was his action a pragmatic choice to prevent a tragedy, or was it the ultimate act of treachery, perhaps motivated by that backhanded comment from Napoleon years earlier? So who is Auguste de Marmont? A traitor? A savior? Or simply a man caught in the unforgiving tides of history, forced to make a choice with no good outcome? The answer, like the man himself, remains complex and controversial to this day. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this dive into history interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories like this. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Was Marmont a hero or a villain? See you next time.